ring species or RASSENKREIS. RASSENKREIS or ring species, they are connected series of population. Like here, there is two series. This is the original population, and there is two series of population here in this two direction along a barrier. In this series of population, closely sighted related populations, they interbreed, like this one interbreeding with this species, this subpopulation, and also this subpopulation. But in the entire series, there will be two subpopulations, two end populations that will not interbreed. This end population, they do not interbreed because in the series of population of a species, there exist very minute genetic differences now, and this in this two end population, they become so genetically distinct that they do not interbreed. So such type of non breeding but related population can exist in the same region, as an example of sympatry. So we see that ring species, they are very relevant when we talk about evidence of evolution. Hello friends, I am Dr. Ayantika Das, and in this video I am going to discuss about an ecology topic, that is ring species. This is in the MSc and BSc syllabuses of various universities. I'm going to discuss a ring species, giving four examples, three bird species example and one very famous salamander ring species. So let's start the video. So I was talking that ring species, they represent speciation, and they have been cited as an evidence of evolution, because when two closely related ring species end members, they appear in the same region, that is they close the series but they do not interbreed, then we get an example of sympatry. But if there is a barrier between the two end species, then we can see it is an example of parapetry or allopatry. So there are many models regarding this ring species. In fact, Ernest Mayr, who is a famous ecologist, he championed this concept of ring species as a model for allopatry. And Allen Orr, another ecologist, he considered it as a model for parapatric speciation. So we see that from the point of view of our evolutional evidence and speciation, ring species is very important, and there has been many examples of ring species that I am going to explain. Larus species of gull, that is found in the polar region, that is the north polar region around the Arctic Circle. So this one is the North Pole, and around the Arctic Circle, this Larus species of gull form a ring complex around the Arctic Circle, and this has been observed by Jonathan Dwight. Now, each of these closely connected series of population of Larus, they all have the common climatic condition of very cold climate, and these species are omnivore. They have a similar food habit. Some species, they have slight difference in food habit, but overall they are omnivore. That is, they depend upon both land and water for their food. Especially the marine sources of food of these type of gulls, Larus gulls, are fishes, crustaceans, starfishes, mollusks, and sea worms, as well as when they visit the land, they feed on mollusk, worm, as well as animal based food like berries and seeds. They also, some of the connecting species of these ring species, they feed on eggs of small birds, on small insects also, and some of them also feed on scraps left by human, and also some feed on carrion and offal. So we see that this ring species, they are generalist species. They are not specialists. They feed on anything and everything that comes in their path. So let's see the ring. So number one, that is the Larus argentatus, that breeds in the western and central Europe. So this species, not only this species but also other species, they have slight difference in their ecological niche, and they have also got some external changes, that is slight coloration difference in the coloration of their plumage. Here we see that these are the two species, ring species, and we see one has got a slight grayish plumage on its wings, while the other has got a black plumage like this. And also in the beaks, we see that there is a small black dot in the beak, and here that dot is totally absent. So this ring species, though they live in closely sited areas, but there is alternation in the microclimatic condition. There is microclimatic conditional change, and as a result of which they have got a very slight difference in their feeding habit, slight difference in their plumage, slight difference in their beak structure. As a result of these all slight difference, these are the differences that occur due to slight genetic difference between the closely sited species. So they interbreed closely sited species, like for example one, that is the argentatus, that is this one that I have drawn in red, argentatus, that breeds in western and central Europe. They can breed with the neighboring population like Larus fuscus, that is the this two, that is the second and the third ring species. So number one can interbreed with second and third because they are closely sited. Then we have, I'm drawing it in blue, then we have Larus figae, that is found in the East Siberia and Northeast Asia, that is number 4. This species, that is East Siberia and East Asia, they can breed with number 3, that is this green species, and this blue one. These two closely sited species can interbreed, that is Vigae can interbreed with Fuscus. Again, in the north, another, I am drawing it in another color. Again, this in American species, that is the Larus smithsonia, that is that occur in North America. These two species, they can interbreed with this Larus smithsonia. This one can interbreed with this one, and also these two can interbreed. So then we come to another species in the ring, that is the Larus fuscus huglini, that is this one, that is occurring in the British Isles as well as the west of Africa. So these species cannot interbreed. This species, that is the species number 7, cannot interbreed with one. So here the interbreeding is absent, because the 7 and 1, they are the two end species. There has been a gradual change of characteristic along the cline in any natural population. There is a slight variation along the cline, and population as a result of which undergoes very slight genetic change. But here between these two species, that is the 7 and 1, no reproduction is possible, because the amount of genetic diversity has been great. So they this along the Central Californian Valley, around the valley, we can see another ring species. It was found by Robert Stebbins, a very famous ecologist, who found out that a salamander, Ensatina eschaltzi, had several ring species around the Central Californian Valley. And as we see that it begins with the British Columbia region and crosses Washington, California, up to Baja California in the Mexican region we are seeing. So we see that it has crossed a wide variety of latitude. That is, there will be a wide variety of temperature change. That is, it is beginning with here, that is the Ensatina oregonensis, which is living in the coniferous region, to the central region, like here. In the central region, we are seeing oak and woodland, to very south, where we are seeing the chaparral type of forest. So we see that there is a wide range of climatic condition, wide range of habitat, so far the Ensatina salamanders are concerned. Now we all know that salamander, they prefer to live in very moist, damp, cold places. So naturally, under any circumstances, whether in the north, that is in this region, that is the coniferous region, from the coniferous region to the woody deciduous region to the chaparral region, they will all be living in very moist cold places, that is close to the water bodies. So we will be finding it under bushes or under wet vegetation. And all these salamander, they have the similar habit of just laying their eggs in moist ground, staying close to the moist area. So their characteristic will be same, but as they live in different microhabitats, so there will be a change in coloration. As we see that the ring species that begins with this Ensatina oregonensis, that is this one, has got a much brownish color, and in comparison to Ensatina picta, which has got certain variegations on its top. These variegations are seen in the top, variegation in the coloration. And again, if we see Ensatina xanthopicta, that is this one, it has got a much darker coloration, and further down south we see that there is further more darker coloration. But throughout this, the left side of this ring species, they have got darkening of color and not that much of variegation. But on the eastern side, that is the on the right hand side of the ring, we are seeing that this Ensatina platensis has got orange and brownish coloration, which has changed to much darker, that is the this one croc eater. Here this one has got a much darker coloration and much contrasting variegation. And as we move down here, cloudberry, it has got a much lesser contrast in the coloration. So we see that in the left part of the ring, we are seeing a certain darkening of color, but not that much of variegation. But in the eastern ring, we are seeing there is a variegation in color. So all these species, that is Oregonensis, this one Oregonensis will breed with Picta, but this cloudberry, this one here, cloudberry will not breed with Escholtzi. So here in between these two species, that is between these two species, there will not be any interbreeding, because these are the end species. So in this way, we see that all the salamanders in the Central Valley, they are forming a ring species. And in fact, this salamander, they have they apart from this coloration and breeding preferences, they do. Another ring species has been found. This ring species of greenish warbler, that is the Phyloscopa strochlioides, has been found around the Tibetan plateau. So this is the Tibetan region, and ring species has been found. And this ring species, that is the eastern, it is divided into the eastern group, this one, and the western group. Though this ring species, all the greenish warblers, they are grayish green in color, very small birds, warbler birds, which means that they are insectivorous birds. They glean on the leaves and the branches, searching for insect, and these are all vocal birds. So basically they have the same characteristic of being insectivorous, passerine, vocal, very small size, and relatively similar color. But these birds, they form ring species in and around the Tibetan plateau. In the eastern group, we can see that this one in the Himalayan region, we are finding Phyloscopa strochlioides, which, while moving eastward again in this region, that is the obscurans, Phylostroca strochlioides obscurans, that is found in the Chinese region. And again, as we move further northward, we can see Phyloscopa strochlioides, uh, plumbate sus, and very end, on the western end, we are seeing that this is the region, that is the Afghanistan region. So we are finding Phyloscopa strochlioides lowi here, and at the very that is a central Asian region, we are finding Phyloscopa strochlioides viridanus. Now this Phyloscopus viridanus, this one viridanus, that is in the western region, the western region end species, and the this one plumbate tarsus, these two, that is the eastern end species and the western end species, they do not mate, they do not interbreed. So this entire ring species, they are a migrating population, that is some species migrate, some of the ring, they migrate in the either summer or winter quarter. But even during the course of migration, there is intermingling of their niche, but they do not the end species do not interbreed. So if they meet, there is no interbreeding. However, interbreeding is present in the rings, other ring species, but not the end species. So here we are seeing these species, they interbreed, these species, they interbreed, but interbreeding is absent among the Viridanus in the west, and the Plumbatarsus in the east end. With this, I come to the end of the ring species video, and I have made other ecology videos too, and they are from the point of view of net and set. So I have put the link of all my videos, ecology video, in the description box. I have also made videos on algae, fungi, cyanobacteria, lichen, bryophyte, pteridophytes, and now I'm concentrating on Gujarat set. However, you can any video you want me to make, you can write it in the comment section. And if you like this video, please do hit the like button and do share it with your friends. Please do subscribe to my channel because your subscription means a lot. And those who have already subscribed, thanks for subscription. Thanks again for watching this video.